Hey guys, hope y'all are doing well. I'm Durosai, and today we're going to be going through how to make some drum sounds on the Behringer Model D. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to be going through how to make a hi-hat, a snare, and a kick drum. Now, for the hi-hat and the snare, you can use any synth as long as it has a noise oscillator. For the kick drum, you're going to want to have a patch cable. It only requires one, but make sure you have one handy. Now, let's dive right into the Model D. Alright, so let's start with the hi-hat. So what you first want to do is turn off all these oscillators. You don't need these. Turn these off. And we just want this noise oscillator. It's either white noise or you're gonna have to pink noise. I think white noise will sound better for the hi-hat. And so let's see, if we want a snappy closed hi-hat, just turn down this attack for both contours, for both envelopes. We can make this really snappy. I think the one thing I don't like about the Model D is that these knobs are so small that it's really hard to like fine tune some of these decay times. But you know, he's gotta be really gentle. Anyways, so that's kind of like a closed hi-hat. And then we can even open up the decay and it'll become more of like an open hi-hat. Make the attack a little bit slower. We can make it sound almost like a shaker. Kind of like that. Here, let's put on a thing on the sequencer. Okay, so I've turned on the sequencer here. So we can just have a steady pattern going. So we've looked at the open hi-hat and the closed hi-hat. So let's look at a snare. Okay. So snare is kind of a similar concept. You want to turn up this contour, bring up this decay, make it very snappy. You want to keep some of the high frequencies. You don't want it to let it decay all the way to a very low cutoff. Like that. Sounds less of a snare. Sounds very kind of like very electronic-y. This sounds a little bit more natural. See, pink noise sounds I don't like it. And then what I like to do is if you turn up this input volume till it distorts, you can get it to sound very fat. Almost like if there was a clap layered onto it, which is pretty cool. Just a little bit of distortion. You don't want to go too hard or else you'll get that. That doesn't sound good. That sounds like trash. Again, you know, you can just modify these to the sound of your song. You know, there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just, you know, showing you a couple different methods of how you can approach this. And so that's a pretty snappy snare that we have here. Now let's move on to the kick. The kick gets a little bit more interesting. So for making a kick drum, you're going to want to have one patch cable. You're going to want to patch that from the oscillator pitch into your filter contour. So that way, this envelope is modulating the pitch of the oscillator. And so for this, you want to actually have your oscillator turned on. Just need one. I like to keep it on a square wave because it sounds, I don't know, punchier that way in my opinion. So that doesn't sound good right now. Let's lower the pitch. Let's get a kick pattern going. Let's drop that an octave. So essentially what this is doing is modulating the pitch really quickly, so it's bringing it from a really high octave down to a low octave, and that creates this very punchy effect. And let's see if we can get this even punchier. There we go. That's almost like a very distorted kick. That's a, if you want to go for that, you can. This kind of sounds like a techno kick almost, just with like some little bit of distortion. And then the shorter we make the decay, the more punchy it's gonna be. A lot more snappy. We can even turn this up. Add a little bit of harmonics. And if we bring down the contour, it gets a like different kind of vibe, a little bit darker. Since we don't have those higher frequencies, we can bring up this decay a little bit. This is definitely like a warehouse type kick almost, especially if you add some processing afterwards in your DAW, you can really get this to sound fat and juicy. So a weird way to verbalize a kick, but anyways. Fat, juicy kicks, alright. Alright, so there you have it. That's how to make a hi-hat, kick drum, and a snare, all in the Behringer Model D. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought. And I'm actually going to be posting a video in the future with making a little jam just with one synth. So the first episode's going to be with the Model D. I'm going to be using some of these techniques. And yeah, so peace out. I actually have 2 new releases out, one on Len Jam Records and an EP on Furious Funk. So I'll put some links in the description for that. And yeah, take care. Peace out.